Um, Okay. So what I remember is black should go e5 as quickly as possible in this line.
Hmm.
By the way, Rafi, this information might actually will be interesting for you. With Naem, I had a very similar situation with the f3
Mhm.
variation.
He played
So
f3 against you?
yes, I think that was it in my line, and just just will check it once.
I have never seen this f3 move before in this position, honestly.
Uh, he did play. I'll just put the game here so that you guys can have a look at later on if you need. Uh,
Hmm.
I went exactly the same way uh, with Queen A5, basically discouraging E4. So basically, if you stop White's plan of E4, the move F3 makes little sense. Let's just say, and I got a very comfortable position. Well, of course, I don't know if he played the right way, but
Is that Naeem? You see the name, Rafi?
yes.
Yeah, and yeah, the same one that we'd meet with, same guy.
No way.
Yeah,
That's funny. Okay,
yeah,
sorry.
they've played each other before.
Yeah,
Okay.
so there was one time, Kevin, when I was invited for the like one of the premier leagues in Bangladesh, and basically Naeem and I were in two rival teams, on the same board. So we had to play this, and I just remember that in that game I got some 95 stuff, like somehow, and yeah, so something like this happened, and it was not that great for him anymore.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So basically, I'm targeting this and threatening knight d3. So it
Yeah.
was just lost, and I just okay. I mean, that's how the game went. But I just was very comfortable right after the opening. Yeah, like something around this position.
Hmm.
I just didn't see any problem for black. You can see the bishop of the like in the semis in the Slav exchange. Bishop is definitely misplaced on b3, and
Hmm.
a lot of things I would say are favoring black in this position right now. So, I
Mm.
mean, I'm not saying this line is good or bad, but okay, there are some obvious issues if black plays slightly aggressive against this line. Later on, when I check the game, I just remember that e5 is also very interesting in this situation. So, just to compare, you can see very similar position. So here, I just know that if I go knight c6 in this position, there is e4.
Hmm.
So DE4, D5, this is the line which gets pretty tricky. I mean, okay, I'm not saying again that black is worse, but okay, this is some compensation line and uh, game goes on, yeah, like knight E5, queen D4, so something like that happens. I knew about it, and I think so here, so I mean, from the white's perspective, maybe you should go E4.
Right.
So
I looked at that after the game.
yeah, you can see, yeah, E4 is the main move here. So probably you should go e4 in this one. So I just knew this line with this and fe4, and okay, this is like a position where game's gonna be dynamic, yeah, very soon.
Right.
So I just knew about this line, and that's the same reason why with Naim I kind of my next move was basically to prevent e4.
Makes sense.
So, is there what's wrong with doing that with bishop f5 like I did? Anything wrong with it or?
So basically when you go bishop f5, I think white is gonna like okay, when you play bishop f5, actually Rafi likes playing bishop f5 because from the Caro-Kann and from the Slav. So in this way, you might get chased away a bit. So maybe that's a possibility. So okay, knight g2 looks logical, and yeah, now yeah, it's gonna is
G4
g4 a better option right now?
I think G4 is playable right now, yeah. From computer standpoint. When I look
Mm-hmm.
at it.
So Rafi, what did you plan for g4? Just bishop g6?
Um, no, I would have just taken it, right?
Knight
Knight
g4?
takes. Yeah.
And then
Check.
queen
Oh, if check, then there's knight g3. Now it's, well, I guess. Maybe I would be okay with playing a position like this, but I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm down a piece and I don't really have any, like that king. The bishop is going to be gone. The light square bishop, because he's going to put one on d3 or e2.
Yeah, for
Then the
sure.
king can hide to c2 and then something like that. And then white doesn't really seem to have any problems anymore.
Yeah, maybe black has some compensation, but not very sure how strong is that compensation. Okay, I'll just check with the engine once. No, engine prefers white, definitely. So maybe the sacrifice is not that great, and you should play bishop g6, actually. So just, I was thinking I can go already h4, h6, knight f4, bishop h7, g5.
Okay, instead of h6, what if I play h5?
Here, h5, like in this situation,
Yeah.
well, I'm for sure going knight f4, just like the Caro-Kann.
Mm. And after bishop h7 here?
I think the same thing, yeah, g5, and here I can even grab the pawn. But I will probably not do it. I mean, I'm mostly inclined towards g6 right now to break the structure completely.
That's
Wow, that's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, this is very typical about these lines, and that's the reason why I don't like to play bishop f5, especially when f3 is already there, you know.
Okay. So what do you suggest for me?
I actually suggest that if this move order is played, like I mean, for example, if you get e3 in this position, I think we
Mm-hmm.
should just go e5.
Hmm.
So here the isolated pawn, I don't think it's a big problem because white has also a lot of weaknesses, yeah, like f3, e3, and it will take some time for white to actually rearrange his pieces and get to d4 and do all those positional stuffs. Black will definitely be fine in these kind of situations.
Mm.
So I think e5, I'll just check once if yeah, of course, e5. So computer also agrees with e5. I mean, just had a brief look. So yeah, but from white's point of view, of course, white should go e4 here. And this is the reason I avoided knight c6 and went queen a5. So, just to prevent e4, yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
So this
So after,
actually, yeah.
But I was gonna say after e5, like basically what is the black's like main ideas here? Like what is he trying to accomplish as soon as possible?
So you mean after e3, e5?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I think he has to take, right? So I just take and probably pretty much play bishop d6 and castle as quickly as possible. And then maybe just a6, bishop e6, rook c8. Just play like a simple game where you play around the IQP.
Got it. And white will just have pawns on e3 and f3 the whole time until he can
Yes,
get an e4 eventually.
e4 means I think if e4 is played, then either we will take d takes e4 and white will be left with an isolated pawn on e4,
Mm-hmm.
or else he has to constantly worry about me pushing d4 as well.
Gotcha.
So it's going to be a bit risky, but the main issue in this line for white will be the c1 bishop. Yeah, like where exactly you planning to develop it.
Right.
You cannot leave this diagonal. Like you cannot just play b3 bishop b2. This pawn is going to fall then. And if you don't do that, okay, b2 is not a great square anyway, so you have to be stuck on c1. Then the rook has some issues. So
Basically, this is preferable from the black side. You prefer
uh,
black here.
yes, definitely yes. I
I
would
agree.
prefer to play black here in this situation.
Yeah,
I see.
black's more active. Too.
Yeah, I mean black has some very simple like moves, bishop c5, bishop b4, or bishop d6, and just castle. And white still, like, white has to find some squares, yeah, where he would like to develop his pieces. And it's like all the pieces are fighting for one square.
Right.
I mean, the bishop has to be developed. Of course, you don't want to give this bishop up. So this is the only remaining square, which makes sense. And if you put the bishop here, then you have to think about the knight. So it's
Right.
basically like white is already trying to equalize in this position. So maybe white should play bishop b5 already in this position.
Uh-huh.
And if I mean, hypothetically speaking, if I get such a position, so this is brilliant for me, and because white has given up his only and the most important piece in the position.
All right.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Just play e2 in castle.
Yeah, so he will probably play knight e2. I think I'm gonna go bishop c5. And okay, castles. So maybe knight d4, but I just play rook e8, then play knight c4.
Mm-hmm. White has nothing. White's gained nothing out of the opening. The last
Yeah, basically, exactly, Kevin. You're right. White did not get any ambitious position, yeah, right from the opening.
Right.
And I think black is doing fine in these kind of situations. I mean, just I'm checking. Yeah, okay, black is obviously fine. Of course, there must be something which, if we are missing something with the computer, we can find. But no, I think we pretty much played the same thing. Okay, so computer also agrees with bishop e5, by the way, here. Because it's so logical, yeah. White has two pieces fighting for the same square, so white has no chances of getting any advantage.
Okay.
So I
Yeah,
actually,
makes sense.
that was pretty good. Okay,
So no other like and with the e5, just to go back one more time, there's no like chances of white to complicate that position any further after e5. Like he's not gonna be able to play. I don't know. I'm thinking of some other possibilities, like maybe bishop b5 or something like that. There's none of that
no, I
messy
don't think.
stuff that
No,
could
I
happen
don't
from
think
here.
so. No, I don't think so. So bishop b5, I think so. I mean, I'm for sure I have bishop d6. So I will just first check the most obvious move here. White is pretty much not getting anything, I guess. Knight e2 probably. Okay, just castles. Again, yeah, I mean, if anybody is going to be better here, probably is black. But I think it's equal. I mean, I don't think anybody is better. Like white obviously has that first move advantage, so it should be equal.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely fine. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, e5 seems like the best option.
Okay. I'll stick with that.
So here you sacrificed.
So okay, yeah, I have a question about that also.
Yes.
So here I felt like there was almost no option for me but to sacrifice. And I intuitively thought that like there's no way that sacrifice is gonna be the wrong idea here. Like if I play bishop g6, like what did I even accomplish from this whole opening? So do you think like objectively was the sacrifice a mistake?
I think if we sacrifice knight g4, it probably has to be based on calculations. White's king, of course, is in no imminent danger, yeah. So he has a lot
Right.
of minor pieces around. So if you're sacrificing, I think it should be based on the reason that bishop g6 is bad and you don't have any other option. So
Is that so? Like, do you think that is the case?
I just want to figure it out. So what's actually wrong? I mean, what discouraged you from playing bishop g6?
Um,
H4 or something?
I don't know. Let's just say he just chops off the bishop and just continues to attack like h4.
No,
Whatever.
here if you take, so since I haven't castled, you might have some problems on h2.
Okay, so I can see that. Let's just say he doesn't do that. Yeah, just plays
He's gonna
h4.
play h4. So now I have to be careful, and at the same time, white also has to be careful for some moves. But okay, so should take and probably play h5.
I
How
was
is
thinking that
this?
too. Yeah.
How is this position? This looks okay to me. So now I'm threatening to take and somehow take the e4 square, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So if I get that, I should be fine, obviously. And if you play g5, I think I'm just gonna come back, right? So some either here or here. Anyway, I'm getting the f5 square.
Right.
So basically, knight g8's idea is to always go knight e7. And if I come back here, that means this knight is rerouting to e7. So knight on d7 blocks the check. So this is
Got
a
it.
very common idea in the Slav e3 lines where this happens in many positions and black just goes knight g8.
Mhm.
So I just want to check if I'm not missing anything tactically. No, okay, so computer also agrees. Bishop f4, e4, h5. And black is fine. So maybe
Got it.
we can actually play bishop g6 here, and it's not that bad. Maybe Kevin can tell us if he had some other plans in this position.
No, the line's about up. Yeah, I was just gonna keep expanding or just trade immediately, and then so knight takes
Mistakes.
g6 and then bishop d3.
But you are not afraid to.
Right. Yeah, I have to play h5 h4 first, right? Because it's under tech.
But
So
h4 falls to rook h4, yeah? Rook h4, bishop g3.
that's true.
I think you have to play queen
Queen
e2, and I play bishop g3 and king d1. Like that's the only option I can see.
is queen c1 c2 an option?
Uh, Possible. I mean, okay, but yeah, maybe queen c2 also. I'm just worried that if you put the queen on c2, then maybe you are blocking the escape route.
That's true. I was hoping to maybe.
But I think black should be fine, in most of this position. Black can try to get this e5 and open up the center. Yeah, white's king does not have a hiding spot right now.
Yeah, if the center opens, I'm scared as white.
So maybe knight g4 was not necessary. But okay, apparently the computer
You're still
thinks
finishing
black
off.
has enough compensation with knight g4. So I think, Rafi, this is a situation, where you have to pretty much decide, yeah, like what sort of position you want to play. If you're going for knight g4, yes, you are playing with a compensation position by choice, of course. And if not, bishop g6 looks okay. There was no immediate need to go knight g4.
I see.
So basically, knowing Rafi's style, I mean, if he did not fear bishop
You could
g6,
go in there
he
too.
would have gone for it, I'm pretty sure.
Hmm.
So maybe this was
Makes
like
sense.
evaluation issue why he decided to go knight g4. So he something.
Me, I didn't even consider the idea of playing bishop g6 because I just thought that, I'm giving white exactly everything he wants out of this. Like he wanted to bully the bishop back and start
Mhm.
this kingside attack. And like I just thought if I do that, then I mean, like if nothing else, there's a psychological situation. And I thought that I didn't know honestly if the sacrifice was actually sound or not. I just thought that that was my only option, so I kind of played it right away. But I thought like worst case scenario, I'm gonna be attacking for a long time here. Like there's no way white's gonna get back to me
Yeah,
until
for
much later
sure,
in the game.
for sure. Actually, if you had played bishop e7, then I think this looks bad for us right now.
Right.
Hmm.
But luckily, because the bishop is on d6, we are able to take this bishop f4 and h5, yeah, which saves us. So maybe, okay, it's like a practical decision to just go for it.
Right.
Okay, this position, I think black has enough compensation. Still, we have to see if white manages to untangle, at the right moment, then it's fine. By the way, did anybody consider moves like this?
Yes. We talked about that at the board.
Okay, so
Yeah.
is this very risky, like something like this?
You cool? We can eat here. Yeah, almost done.
This just looks crazy, by the way.
It came up a little bit later when some pieces were exchanged, but
So
didn't look-
anyway, Rafi went for knight d4, yeah?
yeah.
Okay, so just move orders are reversed here. Wow, rook d8. Rafi, you didn't think long castle?
I did consider it. I thought that maybe he has e4 and then h7 is gonna be a kind of a problem.
But it's
Like
like
not right now, but I thought maybe like he'll play
okay,
some king
okay.
c2 and
Sorry, you meant a7, yeah?
oh, sorry, so a7, yeah.
Got it. Okay.
I wasn't sure if like long term I wanna commit my king to that side of the board because I still had this idea in my head that I'm still attacking him,
Okay.
but I really wasn't at this point anymore.
Yeah, this is. And what's wrong with just. Okay, you wanted to go for this. So this is how the end game came, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Both of them are chicken. The other one is chicken, one steak, and
Okay.
one is the quesadillas, and the rest are all vegetarian.
This is okay. This is very complicated, and of course, the engine evaluation is going to be equal. But yeah, I just see that the attack has finished, right?
Basically, yes.
Yeah. So
And
this is definitely not a great end game to play as black for sure.
right, I thought it was just basically lost, honestly, because the moment the rooks come off, I'm
Yeah,
losing, right? For sure.
yeah, for sure. But okay, white is just getting active almost instantly, so
Right.
Yeah, I played really
so
passive.
here I think this okay, I think you white got h4, right, as well. I mean, I'm pretty sure white should be having something in this position.
I played
This
really
one,
bad.
cheese.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's already time to start with a4
Mm.
and rook b4. So try to
Yeah,
put maximum pressure.
I see.
But okay, what I understood is this game was like going on for a long time, and oh wow, so this tactics happened.
Even here, I think he's fine.
Just take it, right? Rook b5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But somehow the computer doesn't like it already. So it means that this pawn, of course, is a big problem for the bishop, yeah? You need to keep it like one square before. And black is getting some sort of a fortress with rook g4. So I actually think that, I mean, what I've said, what I predicted, white should probably start pushing his pawns already on the other side of the board.
Wait, how is black getting a fortress with rook g4 if white can still advance those queenside pawns?
Not so easy, yeah, because so okay, let's just see this position, yeah. So here we were, so this and rook b. Okay, when was rook b5 coming? So here, right?
Yeah.
And rook g4. Okay, so here how it's not so easy to stop h3 h2.
Right. That's a mistake I made in the game, actually. I should have just kept pushing the pawn and put rook on h4. I didn't
Yeah.
do that, but at the same time, I felt like maybe he can now that I think about it, his king couldn't have come to help even, so it would have to be the bishop.
Yes,
So
and this
bishop
pawn
d6,
is
bishop
this
h.
pawn is restricting, yeah. So white needs like a lot of moves to capture it. That's what I didn't like about this position. Fixing like this, I mean, it should be the other way around, you should keep on b3 because the bishop will control the dark squares and the pawn should control the light squares.
Right.
So it just seems that b3 makes more sense, and you need to keep black's pawn behind. That was the only reason I was actually thinking, even in this position. So let's just say this, and we should play a4 or something. Because now when you threatened rook b4, he has to be passive, yeah, on c7 for a long time.
And if I try to trade the pawns with something like b5, he won't take it, right? He'll play a5 or something.
No, I will just let it be. So something like h4.
Yeah. I was desperately trying to trade those queenside pawns because I knew that if I can trade those, I have at least a decent
Chance of
drawing
holding the
chances. But
position.
I
Yeah,
mean, there was no way to force those trades either.
yeah. Okay, so this was interesting. I mean, some sort of a very nice fortress. It's like unexpected fortress, actually.
So here, can you pause for 1 second here?
Yeah, sure.
So playing this, so I played rook g4.
Mm-hmm.
Then what happened after that?
So rook g4, he took on b5.
So here, I think I should have played h3.
h3 now.
Yeah, because couldn't I just play h3, rook h4, and this just keep? I don't know. Like
So
I thought the reason I got scared of that is because I thought he was gonna play rook b8 and rook h1 really fast, rook h8, and maybe I'll just lose the pawn if I push it too far.
so I think even now for h3, I have rook b7, yeah?
Rook what? d7 or b7?
B7.
Like you're just gonna play like rook h7, right? Is that the idea, or
Yes, yes.
and then the pawn will be lost?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
And that's gonna be for almost all time h3. So rook b7, king g8, rook b8. And you cannot play king h7, yeah, because of this weird mating threat.
Right. You didn't stops.
So now again, okay, you have to play g5. I'm not sure. I think this defensive setup is pretty good, how what Rafi did in this position, like just keep everything active, and not sure how black can actually, I mean, how white can win after this. This already looks a bit dangerous, for white.
Yeah.
But of course, why? So here, yeah,
Whoa,
g4.
-6.
Yeah, here the pawns are automatically propelling themselves. Yeah, like f3, h2, rook g1. I don't see how to defend all these things.
Wow, really?
So this was the point. I think here now this is the right idea to get the king to f3 and play rook c2.
Right. I considered it many times during the game to bring the king over, but I was always afraid that what if he just starts pushing those A and B pawns? Like, do
I
I need my king over there to try to
I
slow
I
those?
think I think no. I mean that is justified, but I think you are like white is too slow in pushing those pawns.
Right, right,
And that's the reason why I was suggesting white should keep his pawns slightly more advanced than on the base rank, so that if at some point pawn race starts, at least white will have some sort of a counterplay.
right.
So maybe here already king d3 was, so here I'm pretty sure, yeah, we are just too fast, right? And this happens, and some sort of an issue. Oh, but he has bishop e1. Okay, hang on. So maybe now h2 I can play, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because now rook g1 is a threat. With bishop d4, now I can move back the rook. Okay, yeah, this looks winning. But even here you can see black is, like just right on time. Yeah, I mean, it's just like a matter of one move or something. So if white had put his pawn somewhere on a4, then maybe all these situations could have been avoided.
Hmm.
So but okay, here bishop e5, like, or something like this just stops everything, yeah?
Right. I that's what I thought he would do. I thought he was going to use the rook and the bishop to stop those
Yeah, and now somehow
pawns.
everything is stopped. So now no f2, and even if I play h2, I don't have rook g1. That's the issue.
Right. Yeah.
Wow. And can I get h2, g3, and then move the rook away to get g2? Or it's not possible for some reason? Like if I so here
Well,
let's
the thing is that if the bishop is on e5, then there would never be any kind of b6 at all, right? Because h3 would drop immediately.
okay, so basically now he has bishop f2 and the rook is locked, yeah. So now
Oh,
now if we play g3, I'm gonna take it. Ooh.
interesting.
Wow. Okay. So the point is now I take, so rook g1, king f2, you promote, and I just take, and this is of course a draw.
Oh, wow.
But I feel like white doesn't have to. I mean, like you're saying that white is struggling to hold a draw. What I mean, what does black really? What can black really do after bishop e5 though?
So let's just say in this position, you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I think the win. I mean, if it's allowed, I can bring the king to e4 for sure.
So wouldn't I mean in that time don't I just keep doesn't white just keep pushing the pawns,
It's not
queenside
not
pawns?
not so easy, yeah. I mean, if you play a4, let's say, and let's just say I go here, I take this.
Okay, let's move the b pawn instead.
Okay,
Yeah.
so b4. That doesn't matter. I think I'll just come here. So where do you want to go? c7 maybe?
D6.
Okay, d6. So definitely I go rook c2 now. a4 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have to check. So if I play king e3, I have bishop c5. I don't queen. Okay. So basically I was thinking king e3 in this position. But you still have rook and rook. So it's like going to be a draw, I guess. So bishop c5 right now. Okay, I have king e4. And again, you have to come back, yeah, bishop d6, or else this might happen.
Right.
It's very complicated. Okay, so the point is if white plays something like this, then this happens, this, and it's the same checkmate, yeah, that you got in the game.
Yeah.
Right.
I was actually thinking that I also, okay, if not for the checkmate, I also have some g2, king e1, and rook c5 as well. But maybe it's not necessary. Just checkmate is fine.
Hmm.
So it's complicated. I mean, it's not so easy to win as white as well, I think. So Kevin, I think one big mistake was to give up the h pawn for the e pawn, like allowing this rook c4 tactics. I actually think the bishop should never leave this pawn.
Right.
Yeah. There's
The
no
whole
progress being
blockade.
made from me at all if that h pawn is there.
Yeah,
Nothing.
yeah, because this is the rule of one diagonal, yeah, which we
And
discussed.
he did a really good job of locking all of my pawns on the light squares and then just taking over that dark square with the diagonal with the bishop.
Yes, exactly.
There was nothing. All he
Yeah.
had to do was just somehow force the rook trades
Yes, if
or
possible,
go
but
after g6.
or go after g6. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that was one mistake which did happen in this situation, was to allow this e3 tactics. So actually, you can see, yeah, the evaluation changes a lot after bishop b4, like straight away.
Right.
Just don't expect it, but it does change a lot here.
It's really sad.
Yeah, basically you have all these four pawns just controlled by one and two things, yeah?
Yeah.
So if we manage, I don't know, like one other idea which I was thinking in this position is probably not even to move the king to f4 and just try something like rook g2. So king f7 and now king f4. So g6 and king e5.
Huh.
So okay, all pawns are under control now. If you push e3, that's gonna fall.
He could have also gone to h6 too, right? Because that's what I thought he ultimately that's how I thought I would lose, is that king would get to h6, g6 would drop, and that's it.
But how are you going to pick g6 if I just stay here and like okay, king h6? In
That's
some
true.
positions, you have to be careful that these two pawns can start moving. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't even consider that there's no other pieces to push the king off of f7. I can just hold it there, right?
Yeah, you can. I mean, even if I get to king h6, so the bishop cannot prove as an interference, right? In this situation.
Right.
So I just don't think white should move the king. I mean, here, like, okay, this seems like the ideal setup where the rook will at least struggle to find some squares, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to keep this position because here what happens is my main idea is to play bishop g5 and try to enter here. This way I can create a lot of checkmating threats.
Yeah.
So basically right now, let's say you just wait somewhere and I play bishop g5 and rook d2. So this is what I'm thinking. So now I'm threatening rook d6, obviously. You cannot take it because
Mm-hmm.
all your pawns are controlled. So you have to play rook c7 or something. Because if you come rook c8 right now, then I get what I want. Yeah, like all these checkmating threats as discussed.
Yeah, it's scary.
Now it's dangerous for him. So technically speaking, I think this would have been the best way to get the king to e5. I mean, that's why I said like when Kevin played h4, I think the job is already done here. Because these two pieces are good enough to control everything, yeah? So here I think, yeah, I mean, just so maybe this is the start of a wrong plan.
Mm-hmm.
Which one is?
Bishop a5, bishop b4, because this actually allows rook c4 and e3, and somehow black manages to break free from the lock he was at.
Right, right. Like he just under no circumstances should have lost the h4 pawn, basically.
Yes, that's what I'm
Like
saying.
that. Yeah.
That's
Makes
exactly
sense.
what I'm saying. Um, just give me 1 second. I think I might have a good example also against it. I mean, this was long back. Just need to check once. I remember having a game very similar to this situation. So my opponent also sacrificed some piece, and it was the exactly like okay, you can say very similar position, but so this g5 pawn, okay, yeah, this was the position where I played h4. Just trying to remember that. Actually fixes all the pawns, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm pretty sure even without this pawn, I will have like a lot of winning chances here. Like I can just put the rook on b6, play king f4, king g5, king h6. I just remembered this h4 move against this structure, and this was exactly the same thing which we had, yeah, h4.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I think this probably was the best way. Of course, if white had a light square bishop, I think the game would be won much easily. But even here, I think it's still working.
What do you feel like was my biggest mistakes in this game? Like what should be my takeaways for how this even happened? Like how did I get to this situation to begin with?
I think first of all, I mean, again, this is because since I have been working a lot with you, handling these type of positions, yeah, is of course a bit difficult. Like you can see, yeah, in this position there is something like knight d4 in this position.
Mm-hmm.
It's I mean, it's very
I
dynamic.
considered that, by the way. I did consider it.
You figured it out, yeah, knight d4 is coming
Mm-hmm. But I thought that why in the world would I go into this end game?
when you're
I
attacking.
mean, when you're attacking, yeah, I thought that I was better here. I thought I was gonna win soon.
No,
Like,
I
I
think
thought the king is stuck. I mean, what is he gonna do? Where is he gonna go with the king? Rook c8 is coming. I'm castling. Playing e5, all this kind of stuff.
yeah, but I think it's a bit. I mean, okay, you do have those plans, but I think it's a bit overestimating the position as well. I
It's
think the
crazy to me
biggest
that the evaluation is literally 0. I thought I was like +4 or 5 here.
and Kevin must be thinking he was winning, right?
Right.
This is the most common thing which happens in these positions. Like, okay, you don't see anything, and you think, okay, now I'm winning, and your opponent thinks he is winning. So, but I think the biggest problem was like to handle these kind of positions, Rafi, you need to play like a lot of computer moves, yeah, like a lot of accurate moves. So the practicality of it is very difficult, right?
Mhm.
Unless you are, of course, like an elite grandmaster or something. So I think that's one thing in this position. And apart from it, I think the one big problem was evaluating G4. I mean, I'm pretty sure if this position was reached in the game, I mean, hypothetically speaking, Rafi would be fine playing this position.
Yeah.
I'm very sure because this is just like a positional game, and
Yeah.
he knows what to do next. So basically,
Hmm.
this would be very simple. I mean, probably Rafi would have gone knight d7 in this position, but he would have found this as well.
Yeah.
This wouldn't have been a problem for him. But he got into a position which is completely against his style, first of all. And then, okay, I mean, just when I saw the game, I already saw what sort of moves Black has to play actually. And like, okay, g5, again, not an easy move to play, especially when knight d5 is coming. So yeah, I think that's it, Rafi, that the position which you entered demands like a lot of accurate moves. And I think Kevin calculated nicely, even with an opponent, I mean, open king, that white has no issues.
Oddly enough, yeah.
Yeah, that was just very difficult for me to buy that idea that white is totally fine here. I did not think that at all the whole game until
Until
and
e4.
even here I thought I was much better. Not much better, but I thought I was definitely a little bit better.
No, here I'm already
But
worried about the position actually.
yeah, here I started. Yeah, me too. Same here. But once he took on d5, I started realizing like I have problems too. But
Yeah,
until then, I didn't feel like any kind of danger at all.
yeah. I mean, basically, you can see, yeah, like when I analyze such positions, and like, okay, the position is saying equal, but you can see the best move is h4. Yeah, this is not something which somebody can consider in this position. I
I
mean, okay.
considered this move h4, but I didn't think of it in this position at all.
Mhm.
I
No,
did imagine the idea of plugging up this G file and
yeah,
castling behind it.
exactly. So the idea is to put knight on g3 or bishop on
Right.
g3 in castle, which
I
is
did consider this, honestly. I did. Definitely did. But
uh,
I thought that it's too slow,
mhm.
and that I thought I was under this impression that I need to get to his king immediately before he goes away to b1 or something like that and
Yes,
gets his pieces up.
as I just mentioned, yeah, this I think the whole problem in this game was the evaluation, basically. Like this is a position where Black should be mentally prepared to play the game as a long-term compensation, yeah. Like nothing
Yeah.
instantly can come. White is actually well defended. So yeah, now that it makes sense, like I think, okay, so King C2 and we try to just play Bishop G3 or something, right?
Right.
And then just
Yeah.
castle. I think, okay, so this, or maybe even knight G3 in this position and just castle. So basically, we are asking White the question that, okay, I'm down a piece, but your king is weak and I have few pawns as compensation, right? So what White wants to do? So you just, give the ball to his court.
Hmm.
Now when we have the engines on and stuff, I think it's easier to evaluate. During the game, it's difficult. And I will still stick to the same thing that this is actually not the style how Rafi usually gets his game.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
I
doesn't
know
seem
if
like
I play this position from both white and black, I will be very comfortable because I can understand the small dynamics and these tricky calculations. So, but even this position is actually hard for me to evaluate. But yeah, I was sure about one thing that knight g4 sacrifice is probably a bit hasty. I mean, probably not necessary. This one for sure. But I think the biggest attraction of this game was the end game that you guys got.
so. Question for Kevin. When you
Yeah.
played G4, did you consider me taking with knight?
No, I didn't even see you taking knight g4. I
Okay.
thought you would play back immediately with the bishop.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and then I would take knight takes g4.
So knight g4 is obviously something probably which we have to consider, yeah. But okay, white has a lot of squares, that's for sure. I mean, that
I
is
had the exact opposite mindset. Like I was waiting for G4. I'm like, I'm ready for this. Play it, you know. I was very ready.
yeah.
Yeah,
This is
when he played knight takes g4, I was shaking a little bit. I was like, whoa, I didn't even expect that.
but I'm pretty sure about the end game. Like that this position is
Oh,
difficult to play as like it's difficult for both because both sides have like their tricks, and it's basically the side which over tries the position loses.
yeah.
But surely here, like white is the one pushing for the win. Black is trying to hold the draw, right?
Yeah, you can say that, but white should have a clear-cut plan, right? Like how he can win. Because black's plan of fortress was very evident, right? He wants to play h3 if white goes somewhere with his rook. And if not, okay, I'll just wait here. I have a lot of waiting moves with the king. Everything is defended. Yeah, that's the point.
What I meant to say is with the H pawn still on the board for white, black has no chances of winning for
No,
sure.
this is definitely in this position. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it's only white who is trying.
Right. It's also surprising to me that the evaluation like a second ago showed the 0.7 after like, yeah, that's crazy that even this position it's almost equal because I thought this whole time that I'm dead lost here. Like I didn't see any way at all that I could hold this together. Like eventually I thought that the trades either the rooks will trade off or one of those G pawns or something will fall. But it's kind of insane that it's giving a 0.7 to this situation.
Yeah.
It's just I guess maybe in practicality or objectively speaking, it's like black has a lot of defensive resources because of like I don't even know how though. Like what is he even attacking here? The B pawn?
Well, I think this is a situation where pretty much both sides are stuck.
Hmm.
But as I said, yeah, like if there are some accurate moves, black will be more under pressure to find the best moves to survive. White, on the other hand, has a free hand, yeah. Like basically, if white just puts his bishop on g5 and does nothing, he can never lose the game.
Right,
Black has to be careful still. I mean, maybe he's missing some squares or something. Something might happen.
right.
But actually, it's very surprising to me that even after like picking up all these pawns, so okay, here of course I can see that f3 is a mistake, but f3 is so natural to play. I
Mhm.
mean, this position is drawn. That is very surprising. I mean, even with two pawns, a bishop and a rook, I mean, this is just extremely strong then.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't feel like it was a draw. That's why I was trying to force the draw with the repetition. I thought that I was worse.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that black's king is in some sort of a checkmating net, but no checkmate is there as well.
I thought that too at one point.
I think one checkmating pattern can be if we manage to keep, so basically after this, if we get time to keep the rook somewhere on h6 and then play a4 and bishop c3. But the point is, whenever we play a4, he escapes, yeah, king b4.
Yeah, because I kept checking my pawns. I thought maybe I.
So
At the
I,
very end of this, which I don't know if we got the moves correct, which well, obviously we didn't get the moves right, but
We both
I
had
thought
like a
that
minute
Kevin
of a
might be
pawn.
able to actually queen one of the pawns.
Yeah,
Because the way that his pawns were marching, it's almost like I had no way to stop them really from coming down.
hmm But it's difficult, I mean, it's actually very difficult.
Hmm. And in the meantime, I felt kind of helpless, like I don't have any chances because I can never play b6, which is the
Yeah.
only way I'm gonna make progress with those 3 pawns, which is the reason why I switched the king over the rook over to the b file, just to try
But
to like create some type of another, I don't know,
but I'm thinking
something.
actually, if I was playing this position, I would also evaluate this as winning for white, because it just looks like this pawn will come, the bishop will come, the rook will come, and eventually black's king has to give up, yeah, something. So,
Right.
but apparently it's not so easy.
Hmm.
Because I'm very sure, yeah, the moment bishop comes, the rook is free. So once the rook is free, you can start checking and like create some sort of a perpetual, right?
Hmm.
So maybe it's actually not that easy.
Hmm.
Okay. Anyway, good game, both of you. Like very exciting game.
yeah. I felt like it was a slugfest, back and forth. We both
Yeah.
started.
It was like attack and defense both, and this was pretty exciting and intense as well.
Yeah.
Must have been a long game, yeah, as well.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah, very long.
We
Like we played for at least a solid 4 hours, probably.
went down
Yeah,
10 minutes.
definitely. Okay. I think guys probably will have to make a stop. I have an early morning flight as well.
Sure.
So